Hey everybody, coming at you, Dumpy here. Welcome back to another episode of Game Talks. And this time we're doing the actually critically acclaimed but still didn't sell very well Gunstar superheroes. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't know it was critically acclaimed. That came later. I think I saw it randomly. Thought it looked fun or cool. Reminded me of Mega Man because like the red person there, the blue person there. So I was like, okay, cool, let's get it. And when I played it reminded me of Mega Man. I was like, oh, cool. So that was even better. I didn't know that it was part of some kind of like small series that they had going on there, like at all. And when I found out, I was pleasantly surprised by it, albeit also frustrated because it took me literal ages to beat that game. Like when I started playing, I thought it was fine, but it's not to any one of the levels. It's very similar to like Mega Man. You pick your character, red or blue, and then you kind of like a stage select a little bit, if I remember correctly, and you just kind of go for it, and it's like, all right, you picked it, so let's see where you go from here. I'm like, all right, cool, and I just kept beating me. This kicked me in the teeth every single time, and I did not do well in it. So I put it down for a while. And then I picked it back up. I'm like, alright, let's just actually beat this thing, because it's sitting here gathering dust. And then I actually sat down and started beating it because I decided to play the game and get good. And I genuinely liked it. One game was more sort of action platform. The other game you had to collect all like these birds or whatever along the way. And the one again was action platforming. So again, it reminded me kind of like Mega Man. So that's why I was attracted to it. But sure, there was no weapon against everyone within after colors, and I'm like, alright, easy enough to remember, easy. It's kind of sort of where I didn't know it was part of a series came in, because this is like a direct, I think, sequel to what happened like on an older game. And the red and blue I'm playing as are named after the original red and blue from the previous game. So it aren't the same characters, and because of that, I had no idea what was going on plot-wise. It took me a second, but what the fact of it going on is that in the original game, Red and Blue, they beat some evil golden or silver empire kind of deal. And what they're trying to do in this game is to bring it back. Bring back the empire, bring back like the final boss god thing, whatever. And you just have to stop it. So pretty basic. They're trying to use magic items to bring back the ancient deities, gold, silver, or whatever, and you have to stop them. And it's pretty straightforward. And I guess that's also kind of what I liked. It shows that as long as it's well designed enough, a good game doesn't need to have some complicated, plot. Because it's first and foremost a game. Yes, a game can also be cinematic experiences, but it's first and foremost a game. And in a game, I'm looking for fun. If I wanted a movie to watch, I just watch a movie or read a book. So this game gave me a game, so I was happy about that. And I didn't realize how much I would appreciate that until like later on in life. I'm like thinking back on it, that's what I really liked about it. One of the things, it was just a fun game. Was it hard at times? Sure, but it was fun. At any rate, what made it really fun for me was there were these different weapons that you could use, different guns. One was like the regular kind of single shot. One was like some kind of homing tracking laser kind of going like in a square-like pattern to get to the enemies, and I used that one a lot because I used it as a crutch because I couldn't aim very well in that game for crap, like at all. Like it was absolute dog shit, and how badly I couldn't aim to hit anything. One was like some kind of like flamethrower thing or some blue laser thing. I think red and blue each had their own individual weapons which they used, and then they had like the two. Oh, there were like sub-weapons that you could switch to. And they also had like a super version of that like gun, like some more powered up version that you could use like on the fly. It did more damage, but it depleted like this energy meter or a counter. You had to like get more of it, which I didn't realize that's what was going on. When like, hey, why can't I use it? I'm like, oh, there's that thing, it's 0, that's why I can't use it. But hey, that was just me being an unobservant kid at that point, but we grow out of such things. And as a kid, because blue was and still is my favorite color, I picked blue a lot. But I also picked red, and it took me years to actually know that red is actually a girl, because at that time when I was a kid, a lot of the female characters looked more like yellow overtly feminine. You see a lot of tomboys, and Red is more of a tomboy. So I didn't realize that was a girl until I don't know how many years later. I was like, oh, okay, cool. It didn't matter to me that it was. I just didn't realize until a lot later in life. I guess I like Blue because he had that more laid-back attitude, kind of cocky a little bit. Red was more the hothead. He got the red Oni and blue Oni tropes. I didn't know that's what that was called, but hey, I get no points for getting it later in life. Oops. Speaking of these colors, yeah, yellow is like an operator kind of person, kind of like Alia. One of the color people you fight is pink, green, orange. I feel like it's like the leader of them. Like one other person's name I think Gray. I can't really remember at this right now, because this is a game I haven't actually touched in years. Like since the last time I uploaded that video of me playing it briefly, that was the last time I actually played that game. And I don't really know why, because that's a pretty fun game. That's on my purview, or because it was a Mega Man-like experience outside of Mega Man. But when I just started playing more Mega Man games, I didn't feel the immediate need to play it. But hey, I'll probably pick it up again after this. Speaking of green, it was actually a very fun addition. I remember when I first found it, I wasn't expecting them, because there's like a mine-like world or section part of a world we fight him at, and I wasn't prepared for it, and I just died there multiple times. His power is really cool. It has this Green Lantern ability to transform his energy into like these constructs and use them. And I'm just like, whoa, okay, guy, calm down. This is my first time playing this. This is my first time fighting you. You can dial it down a little bit, but no, he didn't. But I did eventually win. That was an experience for the first time. The thing was one of the things where I think he's like secretly on our side or something like that, but he's like more kind of like testing our strength, and he's like, we're just not ready yet to do what we have to do, because I remember at the end there he turns into his like 7th form, because we see the other 6 throughout the game we fight against them. His 7th form was some really cool like giant humanoid form, if I'm not mistaken, and there's something like the final boss after we beat it, and he like ultimate into saving the day. I think Green was in the original one, if I'm not mistaken, or a green character with similar abilities. Again, I haven't played the first one. I only know what I know from secondhand, but I digress. Because what happens, you get all of the power gems from all these various bosses. If I'm not mistaken, they get stolen back, and you go to the final boss's like lair. And the orange guy one more time, if I'm not mistaken, the actual leader, the guy that looks very much like M. Bison. And again, that's why they're trying to wake this thing up, right? By gathering all from these different planets, moons, orbiting things. The power gems are plot MacGuffins, and with them they can awaken him to, I think the whole thing was like, since humanity's so trash, like actual dog shit, like all the wars and the overpopulation, that we can't, govern ourselves or hack it ourselves. So going to use the gods, gold and silver's power to like cleanse the world in fire or something like that, and to have it so only that like the chosen or pure or whatever remain. And I'm just like, oh, okay, you're one of those. I guess I get it, but come on. We can straighten ourselves out, but yeah. Because I think how they got the other moons there, I think their moons are planetoids, that after in the first game when Golden Silver was defeated, the release of energy made them, I think, but that's beside the point. Because the game itself isn't very long. There's like 4 or 5, maybe 6 stages in there. You have 2 characters to choose from, where they're pretty similar. But yeah, once you get all like the 4 gems, then you go to like the main villain's base one more time, and then he's like, you finally made it here, but you're too late. I've completed my evil plan, and I have wakened up, the ancient destroyer god thing because, like I said, humanity is garbage. So I'm gonna uplift them through the power of destruction. Oxymoronic, if you ask me, but hey, whatever. And obviously, gold silver betrays him. I mean, not much to remember. It's just like, no, you're not winning. You're not winning this fight, dude. You're trying to use something to control me. Nah. So we think he just ices him straight up, and then it's gonna kill everyone equally. So we fight him, and the boss fight is kind of weird in my personal opinion because the actual gold and silver doesn't really move from what I remember. Like the 4 gems that we gathered around him, they move, and that's what attacking us. So it's like a lot of energy flashing things on screen, and I'm just like sitting here like, what the crap is going on? I remember dying there more than once because I just didn't know what to dodge and what to hit. I think you have to hit the gems. You don't hit him. I thought you had to hit him, but you hit the gems, and that's what takes down my opponent's like health bar. He has like almost 1,000 like energy there, and I'm just like, oh crap. But once you figure that out, you just kind of. I personally started using the green one because they just locked on. But I think the way to go is to use like I guess you could say missile launcher one. It does a lot more damage, but again, I couldn't aim for crap. So I kind of relied on this ability just to lock on to what I needed to lock on, so I didn't have to. I tried my best to focus on dodging because there was a lot happening on screen, and I was trying not to die again for like the umpteenth time. But once you kind of figure that out, it's not the hardest boss because he doesn't actually move. It's just a lot of like sweeping attacks, and I kind of wish there was a bit more to it than just that. But that's really it. Because once you beat him, he kind of leaves and is like, I am a god, I'm going to destroy the world now. He leaves, Green shows up, says that he's sorry for some reason. I think he's trying to get revenge on something for someone, I think his dad or whatever. And that he was helping the guys to get that revenge, and maybe helping us too, like I said. And he sacrifices himself to stop gold and silver, and that's kind of where like the game ends. I'm just like, oh, alright, cool. Yeah, it was a fun game. I mean, it gave me exactly what I ultimately wanted, plus a lot of sweeping energy attack final bosses, which that one was a bit more annoying. Every other boss I'm pretty okay with. That one was just incredibly aggravating. But at any rate, and the story was fine. Again, it's not the most complicated, deep plot in the whole of creation. Like I said, it doesn't really have to. Characters are. One was blue only, one was red only, effectively, and that was pretty much it. Everyone had their own. It was like very archetypal of these guys for these characters. Green was like the brooding guy in the shadows who wanted to get revenge. He was helping us on the side, if I'm not mistaken. Yellow was like the den mother. Blue is the calm, collected one. Red is the more hot-headed one. And they have main terror bad guy and his stooges. Who's the bad guy? Is the bad guy, but he's trying to actually help people, but he's helping them by being evil. That's what makes him evil. All in all, it was fine. I really enjoyed the game. I actually do recommend it. Oh, that's really what I have to say on this game. So I thank you all for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.